Hey, hey, good people. Welcome to Miss LeAnnyaa's Third Eye 13. Miss LeAnny's, my also known as SAG after name. Yaz, my Thursday born Akan day name. So, LeAnnyaa's my adopted name, living in Ghana, West Africa. And this is where you'll get my third eye view and sometimes eternal educator perspective on any number of things in or about 13 minutes. 13 being my favorite number. So again, welcome in. And I'll just start with, it's not that I haven't posted in the past couple of months. It's just that what I did post, I wasn't happy with. And so this segment started to take shape the week of my special 13th of the month segment that I live stream and later pulled down. So that week, one of my best friends from high school posted in our group chat that Chris Tucker was doing a show and asked if we were interested in going. And so being that we're all from Decatur and we're all products of DeKalb County schools, we all have some personal history with Chris, but he and I actually go back the furthest to the same graduating class of Snapfinger Elementary School. And I recently realized by my starting in the first grade, we basically go back to single digits in age, go back decades upon decades. Okay, for real. And so going back, even though we were both popular, aside from his being a class clown, I honestly can't say much about him. I don't remember that we were ever in the same class. So he probably doesn't remember much, if anything, about me from then either. Far less before becoming a certifiable world famous movie star. So I guess it's a good thing that my big time little sister is always in Hawkeye mode, scoping the scene. And it so happened on the boardwalk at the wharf in DC on my birthday in 2022 when we were walking back to the hotel and she spotted him and called him out, literally. And thankfully, he was gracious enough to step out and, spend a little bit of time with us. But so with that being just a couple of years ago, when I saw him on Saturday night after the show, he recognized me. And then by the time I popped up at the golf tournament awards dinner a couple of days later, he was like, "Girl, I recognize you even with that mask on." Which is really saying something since I also had on it wasn't technically a golf cap. It was a bedazzled cap, but that was really something. So I figured it had to be my obviously sleepy eyes. But then when I thought about it, I'm like, I'm going to put it also on the hips, maybe. I'm going to also put it on the hips, which goes back to an earlier segment on the pronouns and the cis woman thing. So anyway, going back to this past Saturday, August 24th, the comedy show Chris Tucker and Friends was the anniversary of the Chris Tucker Foundation. And I'm not sure if the foundation has presented an annual fundraising weekend since the founding, but this year started on Saturday with the comedy show at the Stockbridge Amphitheater. And I have to say, I am not one to spend lots of money on show tickets. And in truth, I'm really not one to attend shows or concerts, period, especially outdoor ones at the whims of the weather. But since, thank goodness, the one who suggested it went to get the tickets from the box office, it cut out the fees, and then there was free 99 parking across the street. And she literally could not have chosen better seats, with mine being number 17. And so with all of that and supporting our real life home folk, which ultimately benefited the folks under his reach, it was truly a pleasure and a great time all around. And to boot, the show was hilarious. In this picture, Chris's older brother Dexter is missing in the warm-up. The rest, you can see a few familiar faces, like Flex Alexander is on the left, and then Buddy Lewis, who's set now, even a week later, has me laughing out loud thinking about it. Alex Thomas, Daryl Chill Mitchell, and then a couple of lesser known folks who were funny. And then right next to Chris is the absolutely ridiculously funny George Wallace. he was, so he turned out to be the headliner, which was a great big surprise. And then after the comedy, who Chris kept saying would be a surprise, was Angie Stone, who you can see is clearly not well, aside from being half the size she was. She was escorted to that exact spot to sing Black Brother and then was escorted off the stage. So not sure what's happening with her, but, sending prayers and divine favor for her to tackle whatever challenge it is that she's working through. Also during the show, Mrs. Tucker, Chris's mom, on behalf of the foundation, presented a scholarship to a young lady going to UPenn. But before the scholarship presentation, Chris shared that he started the foundation at his mother's urging. And he went on to say that as he's traveled the world, he's seen so much that we take for granted. And specifically, he mentioned access to clean water. And I immediately thought of one of my frat brothers whose nonprofit is responsible for installing, I think, more than 100 boreholes throughout Ghana now. And that would be awesome. I would love to help facilitate a gift like that. If Chris or his mom or his sister who runs the foundation were interested, that would be great. But also at the comedy show, he or someone mentioned the golf tournament that I've spoken of already, that it would take place on Monday, the 26th. And so, not letting a long shot deter me, I went to the course on the mission of talking to his sister about helping me to get some time with him for my podcast. And today, August 31st, is Chris's birthday, and I found it to be divinely aligned that my current plan of posting on the 13th and the 30th or 31st of the month, that I can present this vlog now and affirm that hosting him is soon to come. And although I dare not complain, coming up on some delicious salmon and mashed potatoes, unfortunately, I got caught between two golf enthusiasts. Chris's coach, in fact, who was much too familiar, too fast, telling me what I should and should not eat. Excuse me. Okay. Yeah. And I'm like, and a brother who'd been a child prodigy. I didn't get any audio that I could use. And worst of all, I didn't even get the happy birthday song to Chris. So anyway, sucks. But personally, I think that the silent and the live auction could be an entirely separate event. But I can only imagine how exhausting presenting a weekend like that must have been. In fact, the last thing Chris said to me before I left was he was going to get some rest. And so with that, to him and to them and to everyone at the Chris Tucker Foundation, I say, job well done, and rest very well deserved. And so that's going to do it. But as a reminder, my biggest Third Eye 13 aspiration is to host my beloved Thriving 13th babies, the eighth wonder of the world, Mr. Stevie Wonder, born May 13th, Auntie Whoopi Goldberg, born November 13th, and the 13th of September trifecta. So coming up, Miss Iyanla Van Zant, Mr. Tavis Smiley, and Mr. Tyler Perry. And my biggest professional aspiration and the best reason to move back to LA, as I see it, is to join Team Cube Vision and help build out a radio podcast division at the direction of my beloved, renegade, phenomenal 15th baby, Mr. O'Shea Jackson Sr., Ice Cube, born June 15th. Yay, yay. So I thank you now for touching and agreeing with me on all of this, please. And I am not sure what's next, but I do feel compelled, based on what I shared about Chris's coach, to talk about personal liberties and boundaries, like what's appropriate to say to someone you've just met, so don't really know, far less know them well. Or even worse, because I had another situation a day or so after that with a complete stranger. So I don't know that that'll be next, but I know that it will be soon. So we'll see. But for now, it would be fantastic if you'd like this video and subscribe to the channel to keep posted on what is coming. And so with that, I sincerely appreciate that you took the time to hear me out. And I affirm that, be it by divine appointment, you'll hear me the next time as well. And so it is. Amen and Ashe. And I'll close with Namasté, meaning the light within me honors the light within you. So till then, be good, take good care, and Namaste, good people.